Today, in attempting to fetishize the body, people are creating untold suffering. You cannot think of a better arrangement materially in terms of healthcare, insurance, cars. You have more comforts and conveniences than any previous generation, but people are suffering immensely. In affluent societies, almost every fifth person is on some kind of medication just to maintain mental balance. When you have to take a tablet every day to remain sane, this is not joyfulness. You are on the verge of breaking down because you have made a small aspect of your life the whole of your life. Mortality and profundity. Only when you recognize your mortal nature do you want to know what more there is to life. It is then that spiritual process opens up. Once it happened, two men over 80 years of age met. One recognized the other and said, "Did you fight in World War II?" The other man said, "Yes." The first asked him where and in which battalion. The other man told him. The first exclaimed, "Oh my God, don't you recognize me? We were in the same foxhole." Oh, they hit it off. They talked and talked. All that they had actually seen was about 40 minutes of intense combat situation, but they talked about every bullet that went by, zing zing, just missing them by inches. They spoke for over 4 hours about those 40 minutes. When they had exhausted everything that they could say about that time, one asked the other, "What have you been doing since the war?" "Oh, for the past 60 years, I've just been a salesman." Those 40 minutes had come to define their lives because their mortality was dangling in front of them at every moment. In battle they had forged a bond that was profound. Beyond that, this man's life could be summed up in a single sentence: he was just a salesman. You discover an indescribable profundity within yourself when you realize your mortal nature. If you have not realized your eternal nature, you must at least realize your mortal nature. Death is not the end of life, death is simply the end of the body. If you have lived with a very deep identification with the physical, the more you will struggle with death, because death marks the end of the body. Only when you confront your mortality, the potential but inevitable termination of your physical form, does the longing to go beyond become genuine. Mind, miracle or mess? Once it happened, a man wished to acquire supernatural powers. He went from one guru to another, desperately in search of instruction. He eventually found his way to a remote hermitage in the Himalayan wilderness. The guru of the ashram divined the purpose of his quest and tried to dissuade him. "What will you do with these powers?" "So what if you learn to walk upon water? After 3 days, a boat will be better. Don't waste your life on these irrelevant pursuits. Let me teach you meditation instead." The master made many attempts to dissuade him, but the man was adamant. The guru finally said, "Well, if you're determined, take a dip in the river tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock and come to me. I will initiate you into the secrets of the supernatural." The man was excited. He took a pre-dawn dip in a freezing Himalayan river, turned half blue, and came and sat expectantly before the master. The guru said, "See, this is very simple. I have a secret mantra. If you utter it 3 times over, for the next 40 days, all the supernatural powers will be yours." He then revealed the mantra, "Asatoma Sadgamaya." From ignorance, lead me to truth. The guru said, "You have to repeat this sacred mantra 3 times a day for the next 40 days, and the entire realm of the supernatural will be yours.